We're getting some really bad weather. Now this side of the house is more protected. Doesn't sound too good. We're losing our electricity. It's fading in and out. Oh, wow. Oh, that's not good. Jacqueline's 27th birthday party here in a few minutes, so I'm trying to get ready. Man, that's not good. Can we see out of here very well? Okay then. Power in the bunker. And the dehumidifier is working, so I'm happy about that. And it looks like I got a light bulb out here, so. What was that? I just heard something under the... Did you hear that? I heard something weird. Must have been a crash of thunder or lightning. Okay, that's the generator kicking back off and on. That's because my electricity must be trying to come on in the main house. Hi, baby. You gonna come down and join me? Hi, girl. You wanna come down? She's thinking about it. John's bug out bag is now officially a little bit heavier than mine, actually. Mine was heavier than his. And it's got another pad roll that you can put underneath here to make it even more comfortable. I want to show you something so cute. Lexi, what you doing? You're scaring me. You look like a demon dog there. You guys comfortable down here? Mm-hmm. Are you comfortable, Lexi? Lexi says she's comfortable down here. Hi, it's Dr. Janie Pendleton with my husband, Dr. John Pendleton, and we're back. We're down inside of our storm shelter. We got some pretty high winds and some pretty strong rains, and the Indiana Doppler radar was looking pretty nasty. So we came down here with Lexi, and lights are still blinking. Lights in the house are still blinking. And we're just down here in the storm shelter, and we're perfectly comfortable. I put the Berber carpet in. We've got emergency supplies. We got the seating in here. I'd say probably 10 people comfortably, 16 people, a little packed. And then you could add a few people on the steps. We have the 2 berths that are down. Again, these lift up. I can put these up and out of the way, which is fine. I usually just keep them down because I have our bug out bag sitting on top. We have the dehumidifier. We do have a light bulb that's out, but we've had the bunker for about 2 years now, and so what's your opinion on it?
It's very well built, it's very secure, and it's a safe place to be in storms and other different weather situations.
Yeah, and well, other emergencies too. I mean, this would be a great place to go if there's an earthquake, or if there was, just you get a lot of tremors in your area. It's a nice place to go where you know that glass and things aren't going to be falling on you. Mm-hmm. So far we like it. There's the radar there. We're still getting ready to get another big jump here. Wow, we're getting ready to get some more. I guess we'll stay down here another half hour or so. It's just been so hot and humid that a lot of storms popping up. So other than some rain, what do you think? It looks like we're through the worst of it. Mm-hmm. Hopefully it'll back off. Just a lot of rain now. Today's my daughter's 27th birthday, so we're going to head out to dinner for that in about 4 hours. So I'm hoping all this rain is over and she has a good birthday. The sun actually popped out for about an hour, didn't it? Yes. Why the lawn man came. We got the bug thing done, and so that's been our day pretty much. And it's just so hot and it's just so muggy out. I knew we were going to get some bad storms last night when I saw it lightning. But no, we've enjoyed having it. I've had people say, aren't you afraid to drown in one of these things? Well, first of all, right here, and I can't lift it up from here because it's pretty good size. Let's see if I can get it here. It's behind the dehumidifier. Oh, I can't can't get it out, but we have a 3-ton jack right here. And so that ought to get any debris off of us. And if you want, I also sell them with a second hatch. But because I was trying to make this nuclear capable, I only wanted one hatch. So, I mean, it's just design in the works, and I like designing things for ourselves. We have television, of course we have electricity, we have phone line capabilities, and then your cell phones do work down here. I've had people ask me that. Get a strong cell phone signal down here. It doesn't phase it at all. And my husband's cell phone, he's got a different brand than I do, which is a Galaxy, right? Mm-hmm. And he has strong cell phone service as well. So, so we enjoy knowing that this is here.
Well, if you have a place to go, it makes things calmer, and it makes people calmer, and it gives them a place to that they know they can go in the case of emergency. So I think that's important.
Yeah, I think prevention is is always your best policy. And I think when you're in that prevention mode and you actually have something, you do feel better about storms and things like that. I mean, John will tell you, I used to be pretty bad in storms. That's when I would get nervous. Just because we're in Tornado Alley and I've just seen so much, life-threatening things in my day. It just, I don't know. It's like a war-torn area when you see a tornado go through. It's just horrible. And it just gone in 60 seconds. You know the movie Gone in 60 Seconds? That's what we say about tornadoes here. It's gone in 60 seconds. And so I wanted to be able to invest in something that protected my family. For the price of a really cheap used car, I got this. Mm-hmm. And I got the confidence that I needed. Now, of course, the big hailstorm that hit this year that damaged my new car, I only had 430 miles on my new convertible, and a hailstorm hit. It was the only day I had taken it out, and we went to Walmart. It was a beautiful day out, wasn't it? We went in, did our grocery shopping, went into Subway, which is inside, by the front glass door. Subway sits right here, and then they had the optical center here. We went in there and had a sandwich, and as we was leaving, we heard it raining. And I said, well, okay, I put my top up on my convertible, and I was really glad about that. But I didn't know I never had a convertible before, so I didn't know how that top would do in hard rain. I was afraid it would seep through the roof and into the car, which it did not do. But I was worried about it, so I put the top up, and I said, well, let's go. But by the time we made it to the glass doors, people were running in the doors, getting out of huge hail, and it was just like nothing I'd ever seen. As far as my, 50-some years alive, I won't tell you exactly how many that is, but I had never seen such a hailstorm. And you've been alive 60-some years. Did you ever seen such a hailstorm before?
No, I have not.
It was really bad. So then kids were coming in wrapped in blankets and grocery carts. People were pushing them around. So John and I, we got people into the optometry center. And then the optometry doctor, she left. She went out and looked at the damage. But yeah, when the skylight started coming down and hell, golf ball size hail coming through and bouncing, I was getting splashed in hail hitting me in the leg, standing there in the entryway. So I knew that the skylights were giving, and you could just see the hail and the hailstones coming through the skylights. So, I mean, they have a lot of skylights, and of course that wouldn't be too uncommon, I wouldn't think. But we were in there, and it was dripping. It just reminded me of that day. But the insurance guy said I had the worst hail damage he had seen yet. And everybody out here has gotten new roofs on. We were home just for those couple of days between trips because we had some flat tires and some issues. So we had to see we had to drive back down to Franklin to see a mechanic twice, 2 days in a row. So, and then by the way, our transmission caught fire again. So our new transmission, so we're getting that fixed for free, and we got towed for free. So that was a big ordeal. That's why we're home. But we had a great time meeting our viewers and people, and people came up and said hi to us at stores. I mean, it's weird when you travel and someone knows your name and they come up behind you and you've never been there before in your life, and you're like, I think we were CVS pharmacies. People, I like your outfit, Jane. I'm like, hello, I've never been here. It's just like having casual conversations with your best buddies, and it's like you're back home again. And people, matter of fact, I think more people recognize us out than they do come up and say to us in our own hometown. Mm-hmm. And people at Walmart, people mostly recognize Lexi first. They'd recognize her and they'd be like, oh, I saw you, and I saw John, and I saw Lexi, and I knew it was you guys. And so, yeah, we had a good time. We had a lot of meet and greets. We met a lot of new people, a lot of friends, a lot of people been watching us for a lot of years, and a lot of new people that we got to meet, and they started watching us, and they came out to see us, and got to hand out a lot of business cards, and just had a really, really nice time. And I think we achieved on our trip what we had planned on. What we planned on achieving. I think we did that. We rested, we relaxed, and what was your favorite part?
I just like resting and relaxing with Janie, and just being out in nature. It was really nice.
Oh, it was. Yeah, the nature part. It was really nice. And of course, so many of you guys came along for the ride. I was really impressed with the way people came out and enjoyed it with us, and the way they watched the videos and enjoyed that with us as well. John and I'm watching this lady make this lemon meringue pie. Look at the size of that meringue. The meringue on the pie is that high.
On.
It's gonna shrink down, but that would be really hard to bake that all the way through. The top of that would be way too dark brown.
No, they leave it that big.
Huh?
Evidently, they leave it that big. They had people served, and they have great big meringue.
That thing's huge. It's beautiful. I'll have to try that on my key lime pie. Looks good. Yeah, I usually don't make my meringue about that thick. I don't pile it into like a big beehive.
I don't know how you get it in the
I don't know. We're watching TV and doing this at the same time. So anyway, sidetracked, but I saw that's the hugest meringue. I mean, it was like a hat, like a beehive hairdo on top of that pie. That was pretty cool.
You have to remove all your racks and
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm thinking. You'd have to have an oven to be able to do that. I would have an oven to be able to go that tall. So I'm going to try that. I got a new cooking idea for y'all. And they're drinking tropical drinks here with pineapple and stuff like that. I can't actually show you the TV, but I can tell you what's on there. And that sounds kind of good. Some tropical drinks. Now, of course, we don't drink alcohol, but you could add that if you wanted to. Some pina coladas. That would be good. Let's see what else is going on this week. Lexi's doing fine. She had fun on the thing. I was the only one so far that got a tick. And it might have came off Lexi. We're not sure. We were going out to the store trying to find something to remove the tick out of my head. It was right here behind I guess I don't have my headband on. This is the first. But yeah, it was right in here on my head. It got underneath my headband area right there where they like to hide. And he got that out, so I was glad. And so no West Niles virus and no Rocky Mountain fever. I was happy about that. Yeah. That's what's going on. We're home for now until right around September the 1st. And then we're going to start hitting all the Civil War reenactments. We're going to be hitting, not all of them, just one. Just the one. Don't panic, just the one. We're going to be hitting the Covered Bridge Festival down in Bridgeton, Indiana. We're going to be going back to Turkey Run for that. So that's going to be kind of our center base because it's only like 5 minutes away. And we're going to hit several more covered bridges. We hit the bridge in Versailles, which was called the what bridge, John? The Bushing Bridge.
Bushing Bridge.
The Bushing Bridge. And it's beautiful. I'll put some pictures of that here. Okay, we're back. So that was the Bushing Bridge. Wasn't that beautiful? That was in Versailles, and then we went from Brown County to Versailles to Clifty Falls. We didn't make it to Charlestown, but we had to come back up to Brown County, and so we stayed a month. We were about a week, so we were about 16 days we were at Brown County. And then somebody had gotten hurt the day we left there. Someone had gotten hurt, and John fixed someone's broken tibia bone. So I had her in that chair, and we just been really worried. If you're watching this video, let us know how she's doing, because I'd like to know how she made out after that. We really like to know. We prayed over her, and she was very thankful for that. We were there. And Maurices. It really teaches you in an emergency, though, how people really respond.
One thing, regardless of the situation we are in or the person is in, you always give hope, and you don't
Scare the patient.
You don't try to scare the patient with your knowledge.
Just joking. And prepared. We're always prepared. I think that it's one thing taking a course and saying you're a first responder. It's another thing having done it. This is why you must practice. If you got bug out bags, practice. If you're bugging in, practice. Make sure your family practices. This is what John and I do. We talk about these things. Every time we go down into the shelter, we make it an automatic class just to keep ourselves busy. I've said it before. We discuss if we need to change out any of the food. We check the food dates. It's a good time to go through all your bug out bags. Make it, get your mind off the storm or the troubles or the emergency that's happening outside the bunker or outside the house. And it's a good time to check your supplies, your born on dates, things like that. It's a good time to check your medical supply kits, make sure that you have, your peroxide, your anything that you would need, even an inexpensive dollar store sewing kit with a hook needle, okay? And there's my threader that I could have used. Just make sure that you've got your supplies that you need. Make sure that your jack is functioning to get the door and the lid open on your shelter. If you don't have a shelter, which a lot of people do not, I suggest that you look into them, whether they're above shelters in the garage, that you can just get you and your pets or maybe a wheelchair person or an invalid into an above ground shelter. Something. Get something. And if you're afraid to be below ground, you're afraid you're going to drown or what have you, I'm not going to say that some people haven't had that issue. It's because you never, ever, ever put in a garage shelter under the car. Number one, I guess you could never really park there in inclement weather because how are you going to get to it? You have to move the car first. And you don't want to put up the overhead garage door because that is your weakest point of your house before the roof goes, is those large overhead garage doors. I tell all my clients, take the extra bit of time, even if you have an automatic overhead garage door opener, take that extra moment if you can and go run outside and hit that overhead garage door, hit that lock. I told my neighbor about it. He didn't even know he had a lock. Mm-hmm. And I said, slide that lock in the inclement weather, because once that overhead garage door goes, then your roof will go. That is your weak point. Large windows and your overhead garage doors, those are weak points in a storm. So we discussed things like that with the neighbors. We've got 3 people out here now that have underground shelters and above ground shelters, safe rooms, things like that. So as the neighborhood's building, word of mouth's going out. I think that people that are moving down here from Chicago and stuff like that and up from Indy, I think they're realizing that this is tornado heaven right through here. We get a lot. But these wreak havoc. These are not good things. And high winds, large hail, and all of our neighbors, everybody down through here have gotten new roofs. I think I've seen probably close to 70 roofs go on here in the last couple of months. So my mom just got a new roof put on this week from hail damage and storm damage. So, and she's just 2 blocks up the road. All the houses that I built in trade winds, a lot of them had new roofs and new siding put on from the last hailstorm too as well. So we've really been hit. And that's just, it seems like it goes in clusters, doesn't it, each year?
Sometimes.
And then I think at that point then, not only do we do that, but we also have extra power banks for our cell phones, and you want to make sure those are charged. So while you're down here, now's a good time to plug in your cell phone chargers. So get a plug-in adapter that adapts, and you can plug these in and make sure they're charged. They will hold about a 30-minute charge each one, so it's an hour charge altogether. Put a whistle in there. Make sure that you have a way to whistle your way out so people can hear you. An air horn, or just simply some candles are really good. And what's really good is a flashlight that is, yes, and it's also solar, but of course you're not going to get any solar down here. Things like that. Chocolates, because chocolates are not only good for you, but they give you a little burst of energy. They fill you up. They store a long time. Foods that store a long time. The survival tabs, which I keep plenty of those on hand. And of course, yesterday we gave out some booklets and I gave out some survival tabs. So the next trip we're going out, we will be handing out our survival tabs as well. And we are sponsored by that company. So And remember, I wouldn't accept a sponsor. I've had so many people over the last 6 years offer to sponsor me. I do not let someone sponsor us if I just don't absolutely love the product. And we have another new sponsor coming up that's going to be the sound grenade, you know, the siren for the kids in the adult backpack. So you just pull the pin and it has an alarm that can be heard 3 miles away. This is great if you think you might lose one of your children hiking, or maybe a child needs this on their backpacks when they're going to school. This woman is ex-Air Force, and she is just wonderful, so friendly, so wonderful. We've been working on this project together for a while now, and I just really think that you're going to love her product. So we're going to be working on that. And extra water bottles. Don't forget water. And for your water, if you need to pump it up a little bit for some energy, we also have a big thing for the astronauts. Tang. Remember that commercial? Did I just date myself? Yeah, you got the big thing of Tang. And then, of course, we have some other military items here. And I don't even know what that is. What is that? Oh, that's for my sleeping bag. Lots of water. John, how long does bottled water stay good down in a shelter? How long would you store bottled water?
Well, it's cool down here, and generally the water will last a long time, and it has an expiration date, but beyond the expiration date, I think the water would be fine.
Yeah. That's good. We have a toilet down here. Somebody asked me about toilet. You can easily put in a composting toilet. John and I just have a flushable toilet in that corner over here. And we also have our Berkey in that corner over there, which you can't see. It's around the corner here. And then we have our television and all of our VCRs, and we're getting ready to build an entertainment center for this section here. And we got all of that, cable lines and everything. Now, I think the number one question that I get about the bunker is, John, how do you power a bunker, John, when electricity goes out and there's a tornado? I mean, some people are like really rude when they ask questions like, "You're stupid. You're not gonna have electricity anyway. Why put a light in it?" Well, until the electricity goes out, it is nice to have access to the television and the light. But after that, what can you do? There's generators, and
we have a generator. If we can power parts of the house, or we can just power the bunker itself, depending on what you want to power. So
we usually have the 2 refrigerators powered. The freezer and the refrigerator's powered though too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got a sizable generator. You can get a whole house generator that can kick on. But like, let's say the house is gone, it's fallen on top of you. Your best bet is to put your generator in the ground, into a grid type, in a ground encased, and then you keep it away from any air vents or outlets of your bunker, so that way you don't get the carbon monoxide or even that loud sound off of your generator. And most generators run off several different types of fuel, so
yes.
So they can kick on automatically, just like our French drain. Somebody says, "Well, your French drain's not going to work if the electricity's off," but it will if the generator kicks on. So, and you can't hear the generator from in here at all. I mean, it's really quiet.
Yes. It is quiet.
But when you're up in the house, you can hear the generator.
Yes. Get a generator, strategically locate it, and come up with a plan to power what you think you'll need. And that doesn't mean the whole house.
No.
It just means this would be powered.
Mm-hmm. And you have toilets, right? I mean, you got toilets in the main house. So, I mean, worst comes to worst, you've got toilets. Come on. But let's say you're down in the bunker. It's nice to have a little porta potty or something, a camping toilet or something, a 5-gallon bucket with a toilet seat built on it. Something's better than nothing, and you can always use your chips, your wood chips, as disposal. And you can get probably maybe one person, probably a week's worth of urinating and bowel movements in a composting toilet. And probably maybe for 2 people, maybe 2 or 3 days, you could be with a composting toilet without having to dump it. So
generally the storms only last a short period of time.
Yeah.
So a tornado or any kind of severe storm, it'll last just a period of time. So during that period of time, a generator, a alternate power, and a place to take care of your waste and things are really important.
Yeah.
If you look at the people that had issues, they had issues with waste, water, and food. But the 2 essentials basically a clean water, clean air, clean food. You can only live 5 minutes without air. Thereabouts 10 minutes.
About 10 minutes, yeah.
And if you don't have clean water, you'll perish. And if you don't have some access to food in the long term.
Well, because I plan on I got my Berkey water. I can get several gallons of water per every few minutes out of my Berkey. So I can get enough, and plus we have the sun shower, so when the sun does come back out, I can take cold showers, can't I, John? It doesn't bother me at all. And I know how to wash up quickly. A little shampoo or whatever, body wash, whatever, all over your body, and then you do a quick rinse. John has literally, for 3 weeks, watched me take cold showers, and I used less than a gallon of water for every shower, and that was including washing my hair, which is down to here. On the days I had to wash my hair. What I like, we got to places in the woods where there were ticks and things, then I had to wash my hair every day anyway. It was a good way for me to check. You know, and John, we checked each other for ticks and things like that. So that can be interesting, right? A little romantic. But, how's that song go? I'm going to check you for ticks. Toilet paper is important if you have the composting toilet. Just try to keep your children in mind. Keep extra diapers, bottle formula. Make sure you keep the dates up to date. Little applesauces and things like that. This is in the ground, so it stays cool. It's not warm like a hot garage would be. I think that's saying that they're done. So, little bottles of this and that. Toothpaste to, freshen up because we got the berth down here, John and I. I've been in the berth, so, you can sleep down here. Of course, these beds, somebody said, get those egg foam mattress or press something down, make it a little softer. You're really not planning on being down here long term. You're talking about, at the maximum, 2 or 3 hours. Here we get storms that can come off and on all day long. But we're not in a flash flood area right here, but just right across the street, the whole field is flooded. And you can see the water's not coming in because we have the French drain running. It is running, and and if that shuts off, this is still waterproof. And it's got coal tar epoxy, several layers of it on the outside of this ship. These were shipbuilders that build these and built this one. And of course, hubby wired it, and I carpeted it. And same carpet's in my Yukon.
Well, if you want to, I can take a shower or just clean my personal parts and things with a less than a quart of water. So
the micro towels that you just drop in a tablespoon of water, they swell up, and you can wash off with this and a little bit of soap as well. I suggest you get a couple of micro tabs. They're just little tablets that you just put in. Just all you need is a little drop of water, and they swell up, and you got a nice towel to keep yourself clean with, keep babies clean with. So and kids always sleep better when you wash their feet and hands and their face and their necks and stuff before they go to bed. A baby, I don't know, haven't you ever noticed that babies sleep really well when you wipe them down, and toddlers too. And then of course we have the medical kits and all of that. So think about your needs that you would need in a bunker, and just it doesn't have to be expensive. A lot of these things you can get at Dollar General. Some things maybe even at Dollar Tree. So you can get just. A lot of people don't like to shop Walmart, but some of these things we did get at Walmart. Like I think we got these things, maybe Big Lots. I think we got these at Big Lots, the containers. And I just put them on with handles, so I can just take them right out. And if I need to carry them to the car for some emergency reason, because we have to leave, then I can put all of these in the RV and we can go. But the RV, here's the nice thing about the RV, when it's not in the shop, is it is our bug out vehicle. So I have duplicates of everything in the RV. Mm-hmm. So it's not something that we did overnight. I've been doing this for, how many years have I been doing this? For 10 years now. I've been prepping for this type of stuff. So hardcore prepping, I'd say probably 10 years. Mm-hmm. But I don't have rooms and rooms full of canned goods and all that stuff. To me, that's just not necessary. I know I'm going to have a garden, so mm-hmm. I think we prep for 1 year to 2 years out. And then after that, I'm a Christian. I don't really want to live beyond that. I know I'm a heart patient. I wouldn't live without my heart pills. If I can't get to a pharmacy and get my heart pills, I'm not going to live a week anyway. So I'm pretty confident about that. So, I would give up my heart pills. My son has the same heart condition. I would give up all my heart pills and give them to him because he's got 2 babies. He's got 2 small children. And so that would be my decision. I would I would just hand my medicine over to my son so that he can raise his babies. I've raised my children and I've lived a good life. So you have to ask yourself, I think, these really personal questions. And again, I have Christ, so I have hope. So I know that I'm saved, and I'm not. I don't know. I'm not scared like I used to be. Am I really? I mean, so.
Well, you can only do what you can do. So for better or worse, when that time comes, you face it in a good way. Hopefully.
And you face it together. And if you're alone, then this is just more confidence of being safe when you're alone. And we also, I've sold safe rooms as well. And I think my daughters have used our safe room twice. And we'll talk about that some other time. But yeah, we have other rooms besides this. So, and we have different locations that we can go to and different mapping routes and things. So I talk a lot about those types of things on our videos. I teach you how to can, how to dry can in the oven, dry goods, how to pressure can, how to water bath can. I've been doing it for 36 years. 36 years canning. Okay, 36 years this year. And my mom was talking about that the other day. She said, man, you've been canning a long time. And I said, I know, right? You know, of course, that's just in the blood, I guess. The woodworking and the canning, I guess, and the gardening, that's just in my blood. You just naturally, I swear you inherit that kind of thing, because I just tend to always lean towards it. No matter where we go, I'm either taking my flowers or some sort of garden things with me, and I'm cooking. It's like they go hand in hand with me, and I just hanging my clothes out on the line. I just naturally fit right in, don't I?
Yeah.
And so how did we do living off grid for 3 months? How do you think we did?
Good.
Do you think, I mean, if you could grade us on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you say we did 3 months off grid? Which is where we've been.
I think we did well in reference to living off grid.
Okay, so I'm going to ask John a couple questions. And after living off grid for 3 months, that's where we've been, off grid for 3 months. And Verizon actually gave us Wi-Fi for free through our phone. So I want to thank Verizon for that. So my question is this, and I want to thank Maurices as well for dressing me for the trip. So, John, on a scale of 1 to 10, how did we do? Living away from the house for 3 months. Other than we had a few flat tires, we had some major chinks in the chain link fence here. Okay, we had some chinks in the chain. So, but we got it fixed. They were expensive fixes, but we dealt with it. Even being stranded in the middle of truck stops, we dealt with it with our RV on fire again. But we dealt with it calmly this time. I think it was different. We knew that. I think if I had to give my opinion, I'd have to say I would give us, from a scale of 1 to 10, I would say I would give us a 9. I think there's always room for improvement. That's why I didn't give us a 10. And I think I was missing home by about week 3. I was missing home. We came home due to some, and I was able to do some laundry and take care of some things, pay some bills and stuff, and then we headed back out about a week and a couple days later. So I kind of got rid of that homesickness, and then I was able to head back out again for another month, and then we did it again for another month. So it was 3 months of travel. 3 months of travel, and we even got to visit 9 state parks. So we've been to the very top of the dunes, all the way down to Versailles and Clifty Falls, and down near Charlestown, all that, and all the way back up to down through there. We kept Brown County at kind of our center where we shot off from. So, and what parks we didn't visit this spring, I've scheduled to visit this fall. So we're going to head back out here in about a month, and we're going to, when the weather hopefully won't be too hot and humid. And see, we wanted to be here for the stormy weather, and thank goodness we were, because we have the bunker here. So I'm still not comfortable with bugging out in the storms we get.
Well, bugging out, let's talk about it. If a whole system collapse of water, sewer, your people that come and pick up the trash collapsed, society, and as we know it, would not necessarily come to an end, but it would be a disease and other different things are a byproduct of the inability to get clean water, the inability to have a clean environment. So we're dependent upon a lot of things in reference to, clean water, clean air. If you can get to a stream, you can we have the Berkey filter. You can always filter water. We've come to, as people, we've come to a part where we've ruined our rivers, and we've really hurt our lakes, and we don't see the connection between us and the world apart from technology, and it's a real issue.
Well, see, they already said salmonella was in Lake Michigan, so we couldn't swim in Lake Michigan. That
I
was
was
so
afraid
sad.
myself to swim in Lake Michigan. It was beautiful. I liked seeing it, but getting into it, if there's a disease or something like that, I really, there was no showers there at the beach when we were there. They weren't open, and there was no way to clean yourself after you got done.
No, and we made sure we stayed clean on the outside, so we didn't bring anything home with us in the RV.
Well, you got to take care of your environment, and I think that conservation is actually a Christian concept, and it began in Genesis when God first created the world. We were to care for the animals, care for our environment, and do things to promote healthy and a wholesome community. But I think really what you would see in a catastrophe, you would see people pooping where they eat. You would see people in the trash in the lakes, the rivers, and the streams, and you'd see some things that really we should think about before we ever get there, so that we wouldn't, we get in a place, there's no place to go, number one. If the streams get any more polluted and the rivers and stuff, bleach is a commodity, and it takes 0.33 ounces per 10 gallons to purify the water.
That's for your RV owners as well. I see so many people that were not putting bleach in the water. They were just judging, you don't know your water source or your well source. Like Brown County had bleach in the water, so we added half the amount of bleach that we normally would. Versailles didn't add bleach to the water, and it smelled very fishy because they were by a lake, and we know they were manufacturing that lake water into our water. The water was very fishy smelling. They were using the lake water to feed to us. It was clean, we could drink it, but John put bleach in it, and when I showered, I felt so much better about it.
Well, you can get there's all kinds of diseases that come from waterborne pathogens, and when you create an environment where the simple things, you think that a lot of people that are rich and have whatever else, I mean, if you don't have fresh water, clean air, and a way to clean up your area, you're living in filth just like everybody else.
The more varied that we have become in our way of thinking about how we're doing all of this. And I'm out of canning jars as far as canning space goes. And I wanted to eat. So now we have all empty canning jars, and we're ready for the next season of canning, because I stopped my canning. I said, stop. We're not eating what we got. Stop. We're not in the middle of emergency. Stop. I don't have any more space for this. And we're spending a lot of money on jars, and we're just not going to eat this much food. It's just me and you, and an emergency, a few other people. So I just started dating everything, cleaning out all the canning cabinets and the canning closets and stuff, and we just started packing it up. And we started giving it away and eating it and dating stuff and moving stuff forward and rotating our stuff. Well, we finally got it all cleaned up right before we left. And then we even took our canned goods with us, didn't we? And it made canning, home preserving our food. It made that in the power cooker, I think, and freezer meals. And I got all that coming up, all the freezer meals that I made, how I used the power cooker to do that and make that happen. And we lived for 10 days off homemade freezer meals, and I did zero cooking for 10 days of the 3 months. 10 of the days I did zero cooking, just because I wanted to come home and I had those days, and I thought, I don't have anything else I'm doing right now. Let's just cook. Let's just get the groceries, because you don't want food in your home refrigerator when you're gone that long. So I had to turn it into something. So I did my daily meal planning like I always do, and because I have that habit and that knowledge in my Homestead book really helped too, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
It helped me with my planning. It helped me with my food prep. It helped me with my meal planning. I know that there's people that are stealing my videos. You guys are calling me, you're emailing me, you're letting me know personally. I appreciate that. We came back and somebody had been stealing my videos.
But when you ask those people questions, they can't answer the questions, or really they have a very superficial understanding of what's going on.
Yeah, 12, 13 books I think we have coming out. Plus I started another one. I'm working on my first Amish novel. So everybody's been begging me to do one.
The thunder.
That's not thunder. It's like somebody rolling their trash can across
No,
the...
it's thunder.
Huh. I heard that up above us. So, so we got that going on. What else? I mean, it's been 3 months since we've really got to talk to you guys. And just being off grid. I got a nice little tan going. I never get a tan. Another severe storm. It's on its way until 3 p.m. So we got another storm coming.